Hey guys, today is a pretty cool video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the Diamond Select's Starship Legends. This is the NCC-1701-D, of course the USS Enterprise. But it's not the regular Enterprise D. It's from the Episode 7 season finale. That was a two-part episode called All Good Things. And this is actually Admiral Riker's USS Enterprise, the one that he saved from salvage and decided to make his flagship. You can see it's got the third nacelle and the extra cannons on the top of the saucer section, and it's really a cool ship. It's too bad we didn't get to see more of it. This episode actually ended up being the series finale, because after season 7 they did not renew the series. So this is going to be pretty cool. The packaging is marked as the Enterprise D because they have the actual USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D for the series Star Trek The Next Generation. This one is different only because they added the features on this ship to make it look like Admiral Riker's, and the only difference is you can see, I'll put up a picture, you can see it better, USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D from All Good Things. So, showing you the box art, you can see that it's Diamond Select. Again, it's the Starship Legends series. It's got Captain Picard on the box on the lower left-hand corner. USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D, electronic starship from Star Trek The Next Generation. The top, the tri-me, says press the bridge dome, and then you get Captain Picard's battle commands. Let's go ahead and again, I don't think Captain Picard was not the captain on this ship, so when we get it out and we try all the different sounds, we'll see. But looking at the side, again, this is packaging wise anyway, it's the same thing as the NCC-1701-D, the regular Enterprise D. Show you the back. You can see the other things that Diamond Select offers. Let me make sure it's all in the shot for you. Again, I'm going to put pictures up so you can see it better. It goes and shows, you got some of the designs, the blueprint designs of the ship. These are pretty cool. It shows you what it has. Authentic sound effects and command phrases, light up warp engines, bridge and deflector, separating saucer section. So the section does come apart, revealing the battle bridge. And I believe the regular USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D from Diamond Selects, I believe that does the same thing also. You can see, like I said, different things that you can purchase. They have the phaser, the Wrath of Khan phaser. Of course, that one's from the series. The tricorder, it doesn't say whether it's the science or the medical. Communicator, Captain Kirk, and different things you can buy. It's got the Star Trek logo. Again, USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D, and it gives the story, the whole Star Trek story. In 1966, Gene Roddenberry approached NBC with a show he described as Wagon Train to the Stars. What he accomplished was beyond even his dreams. Cultural phenomenon, daring to explore the nature of humanity under the guise of science fiction. Was embraced by the world and Star Trek was born. September 28th of 1987 saw the birth of a new sci-fi legend as the crew of the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D introduced Star Trek to the next generation of fans with spectacular results. So of course they're talking about when they rebooted the series and they put Star Trek the Next Generation. Constructed at the Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards and launched on Stardate 40759.5, the fifth starship to bear the Enterprise name was commanded by Captain Jean-Luc Picard. The Galaxy-class vessel supported a ship's complement of over 1,000 people from dozens of different species. If you remember the Enterprise from the first series, the first Star Trek original series, the Enterprise was a Constitution class. Even when it was refit, in the refit and later the A, they were all Constitution class starships. 8 times larger than the original USS Enterprise, the Federation flagship featured 42 decks, 12 phaser arrays, 3 photon torpedo launchers, and a top sustainable speed of 9.6. With light-up warp engines, deflector dish, and impulse engines, sound effects from the legendary series, and an emergency saucer separation mode, the USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D will continue to explore the galaxy for years to come. Now remember, this tangent or timeline was skewed, so we don't know if it really happens or if it doesn't happen. In the series finale, All Good Things, it was a 2-part episode where Captain Picard found himself going through different time periods. He would wake up and he would be in the future, he'd be retired. He would be in the vine field with his vines, with his grapes. Then he would be back on the Enterprise. Then he would be back to the original airing of the pilot when they had Encounter at Farpoint. And he was taking command of the Enterprise for the first time. And like the first premiere, the premiere episode of Star Trek The Next Generation was Encounter at Farpoint Station, and we got to see Q. And almost coming full circle, the series finale and season 7 finale also has Q, once again putting humanity on trial. That being said, let's go ahead and we're going to open it up, and we're going to take the ship out and set it up so you can see it. Okay, so I went ahead and I took it out of the package, and incidentally it comes with 2 stands. One for the saucer section, as you can see, and one for the main body, where the battle bridge is housed. And it also comes with the instructions. Let me show you. I'm going to put up pictures so you can see, but there are actually compartments for batteries in 2 locations. One, as you can see here, in the secondary hull, and there's one in the primary hull. And I'll show you what that does. It's pretty cool, actually, what it does. Because this is a pretty old model, and the batteries actually were dead. And it wasn't working, so I took it out and I replaced all the batteries. But something interesting for you to note, on the saucer section, when you replace the batteries, underneath here there's 3 of the small watch-type batteries. There's also a reset area. You use a small screwdriver, where if you push the reset, it resets all the circuits in the model. And it's pretty cool. The detailing on this is pretty impressive. Let me go ahead, let me show you what happens when the saucer section goes on to the secondary hull. You can hear the mighty crash as the 2 huge pieces come together, and when you take it off, And that's what the saucer section does. Because the saucer section has the speaker in it. So the button controls the saucer section. And it's the little electronic pins, the contacts that connected to the secondary hull. Let me put it over there for a minute. Like I said, it came with 2 stands. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it together for you. The secondary hull doesn't have much in but the form of buttons. It does have this section where if you hold it down, it turns the lights on. You can see the dish and the nacelles light up. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to put the saucer section back on. That is so cool, isn't it? That is just wild. I mean, the Enterprise D is, it's a spectacular vehicle. It's just amazing. So, now that she's back together, the front of the box, like I was telling you, it said the Captain Picard giving the orders. But don't forget, this is Admiral Riker's Starship. So when you push the buttons, you only hear Admiral Riker. In order to activate it, you push the top of the saucer section, the dome, where the bridge is. And don't forget, in this series, in this universe, Admiral Riker's flagship Enterprise does cloak, as you just heard him say. The transporter. That sound never gets old. Going into warp. Red alert.
Set a course for Federation Space, warp 13.
Cruising sound. And back to the cloaking. So let me see if I can hold the button down if it activates like the others. Yep. So I'll show you the
Set a course for Federation Space, warp 13.
So those are all the sounds that it does, and you can pose it on the stand. I just love when it's lit up. I'll show you again. You can see the cannons. The extra cannons that were put on. And of course the huge weapon that's on the bottom. That really is so cool. Like I said, the detail on the ship is really, really beautiful. The third nacelle, and it's really built really well. It's solid. It's heavy. You can tell it's, it just screams of quality. The phaser area on top and on the bottom of the saucer section. I don't know, do the impulse engines light up? Let me check. The impulse engines on the back of the ship itself, over here, are lighting up, but the ones that are over here I haven't seen light up yet.
Set a course for Federation Space Warp 13.
Maybe when you separate the saucer section, maybe the impulse engines will come on. Yep, there they go. That is so cool. Again, the detailing on this is, and I apologize, it's not the best video quality, but I will put some photographs up for you to check out the quality. This is going to be one of the coolest ships, and we don't see a lot of it. You know, it's like the Enterprise NCC-1701-C. It's really cool, but we don't see it very much. Let me go ahead and dock the saucer section. Well, you can see the phaser array, the battle bridge area. Put this back. Nice. What's holding it on? You got two strong magnets, one in the saucer section and one in the secondary hull. And that's what holds it together. The nacelles, they have the fins, along with the addition of the third nacelle. That wasn't in the on the original. And Admiral Riker had saved this one from being decommissioned, because he said it was Admiral's prerogative to choose his Starship flagship. And this thing in battle is really impressive. You see when they go in and they fight the Klingons. Interestingly, Dr. Crusher, in that same universe that has Riker as Admiral, Dr. Crusher actually becomes Captain Picard because she marries Jean-Luc Picard, and I guess they separate. She gets her own command, and she commands a research vessel. Mr. Worf becomes ambassador for the Klingon Empire. Mr. Data was funny because he actually goes and he's at the college, very distinguished, and you can see where he wants to simulate age, and he puts the gray streak in his hair. Of course, Geordi doesn't need his visors anymore, so they're all enjoying retirement, and he's able to see with his own eyes. I rather like that episode. That's one of my favorites, because I do like Q. I like Q. It reminds me of Trelane of Gothos from the original series, and that's probably where they got the idea. I wonder if Trelane's parents were part of the Continuum, and that could be another video. But as for this, we don't get to see it very long. If you remember, Captain Picard was going through all the time periods. And this one obviously is one of the futures, and there is an anomaly that they're monitoring, and it continues to grow. And what ends up happening is the anomaly is actually caused by the Enterprise in all the time zones, in all different time periods. So once they break the anomaly, when they break the beam from the Enterprise, it actually fixes the anomaly. And of course Q is there to judge humanity and Picard. That being said, none of the movies, nothing else shows this Enterprise. Just like the Enterprise C. Star Trek The Next Generation had an episode called Yesterday's Enterprise. And what had happened was the Enterprise was in a battle. It was actually defending a battle, a station, some space station at Kittimer. And it's what happened was the Romulans destroy the Enterprise, but it goes back in time, so it's not destroyed. It changes the timeline, and the Federation is at war with the Klingons. But that's another episode. That's a whole different thing. But the similarities between the Enterprise C and this Enterprise, because this is still the NCC-1701-D. So in this timeline, it makes you wonder, if it stayed this way, where was the E? Or if there was the E and this one stayed the D, because it was about to be decommissioned and Admiral Riker saved it. Anyway, that being said, I'll go ahead and I'll show you the... Oh, it also comes with these little plugs. So when you're not using the stands, you can plug the little holes so they don't show display-wise. Because I was wondering what these were. And it says in the instructions that you can plug them up. Again, like I said, I put the instructions up so you can pause and check it out. But let me cycle through one more time for you to see how just awesome this thing is.
Cloak. Raise the shield. Set a course for Federation space, warp 13.
Again, this thing is really cool. I love it. If you get a chance to pick this up, this is from the episode All Good Things from Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 7 and the series finale. This is Admiral Riker's Starship Enterprise. Again, this has the cloak and the added weapons. You can see the huge cannon underneath and the added cannons on top. And it's just really impressive. That being said, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you don't have it yet and you wondered what it did, there you go. And go out and get one. I thank you for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.